Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Ragusa.
So if you have watched the Gamesplanation for Ragusa, you'll have an idea of how the game plays. I've set the game up as a 3-player game. These are positioned because of what's on the back of these cards as they came out. These cards are the selection of having 3 dealt out and just choosing one of them. The other 2 go back into the pile, which is over there, and get shuffled in. They are normally face down, but I've left them face up so you can see what each player is working towards. So let's get straight into it. The very first house that gets placed for each player is going to have to create wood. So orange is going to place a house there, which creates him 1 wood, allowing the house to be created, 1 ore, and 1 stone, which would allow him to also build in the city. Blue is going to do exactly the same thing. Purple is going to go for 2 wood and 1 stone. So that kind of allows him to have a secondary building in the country. And we come back around to orange. By the way, I don't think I said this in the Gamesplaination. The game finishes when we run out of these houses, and final points are the length of the wall, which I will get to in a moment in this video, but final points is the length of the wall plus any bonuses that you happen to have, plus obviously if you're at the cathedral. So it's back to orange's turn. Orange likes the idea of being able to create stuff, so he's going to go there, which suddenly turns his wood into 3, allowing him to have 3 things around 1 hex, and also gives him a second ore. Blue is going to drop down to the bottom, giving him a second stone, plus 1 of each, the olives and the grapes. Purple might jump in there, so he's already got the 2 wood, so he can have 2 around that 1 hex. And that will now give him a second stone. It will also give him a single ore. Sorry, that was in the wrong spot before. That's fixed up now. And that will also give him 1 olives. Back up to orange. He thinks he might actually place a house there, which allows him to produce 1 grapes and 1 olives because he has 3 wood. He only needs 1 wood because there's no other orange on those 2 hexes. He also needs to have 1 stone, which he has, to be able to build that. And that allows him to turn a single ore into a single silver because he has only 1 house. If he had a second house, that would allow him to do 2. But he's only got 1. Sorry, these should be back on 0. I do apologize about that. So he turns his ore into silver. Moving forward, blue's turn. Blue is going to jump down here and go to the oil press. So he has 1 olive oil and 1 house. So that's going to turn into 1 olive oil. That also gives him a second grape. And that also gives him a single fish. Purple is going to get points at the end of the game for having grape. So he might jump in there, which gives him 1 grape as a starting point, and that will give him 2 points at the end of the game. He also gets to build 1 piece, so he'll build that there. It's 1 point for that, plus 1 because he's next to his own thing. So he gets 2 points for that placement. And then he goes to the silversmith. He has 1 ore, so that pushes his silver forward 1. Then orange also gets to activate his guy at the silversmith. Moving forward, orange. Orange is going to take that 1, which would allow him to push both of his grape and olive production up by 1, and also allows him to place a wall. And he thinks there's probably value at the moment in placing it there, so he'll get the 2 points. So 1 for the wall, 1 for the connecting piece. Then purple, because he's on the same spot, he will also get to place a wall, and he thinks he'll place that there, so that only gets him 1 more point. Blue is going to go there, so he gets 1 more fish, pushes that to 2. He then gets a point per 2 fish that he has, so he'll take his point. And then he can purchase one of the things on the market, and he's going to purchase the dress because he'll get an extra 4 points for that dress at the end of the game. So that's going to cost him his 1 oil. He gains 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And push that to the side for the end of the game. These then all move down. We add 1 to the value of wine and flip that over, adding it back in. We then come to purple's turn. Purple thinks it's probably worthwhile going there, which gives him a second ore, a second grapes, and a second olive. Back up to orange. Orange only has a production of 1 stone. It's probably worth his while having 2 or 3 stone because we're going to want to surround these hexes. So he might just go there, which gives him 1 more wood, 1 stone, and 1 grapes. Down to blue. Blue likes the idea of getting some more cards for bonus points at the end of the game. He wants to go there, but he can't because he's not going to be able to action that hex. He can't actually go here. So he might instead go for that one, which gets him a point because he's got 2 fish. Gets that house a point because of the 2 fish. The cathedral is endgame points, and then that allows him to get more cards. So he takes 2 cards, has a look at them. He's probably more likely to get stone, so he's going to go for stone as well. That other card goes on the bottom of the pile. Purple's going to take that spot, which allows him to do the architect, which is put 1 of these over the top. So now purple's wall is joining through. Orange is going to need to do similar over the top of that guy. It allows him to do a winery action. So he could produce 2 grapes, but he's only got 1 house there. So it's only 1 winery action, which creates only 1 barrel. And then the exact same thing with the endgame points cards. He could go with either. I think he'll just go with the olives. So he's trying to build up on how much grape and how much olive he produces. And we keep moving forward. Orange is going to go there, which produces him 2 fish. And that also produces him 1 olive oil. And then blue is able to follow that and also produce the 1 olive oil because he has 1 thing over there. Blue is going to go there, which produces him 2 more wood. So that brings that up to 3. And 1 more stone, which brings that up to 2. Because he's looking at this, so he's able to produce 3, which gives him 9 stone. So if he can get 1 more stone, that card is maxed out. Purple is going to go there. So on this one, he's able to turn in a good because he's got 1 house there. And it's probably worth his while to turn in the wine. And that's going to turn in for 2 points because of where that is placed. He then gets to take cards. It's probably worth his while actually to go after this because he doesn't have any fish. He already has 1 of those, so he'll continue to go after those. And then to the winery, he produces 2 grapes. He has 2 houses on the winery, so that produces him 2 of the wine. I think I've shown you how each bit works. Let's jump to the end of the game so you can see the scoring. Okay, everyone has taken their turns and we are at the end of the game. Let's run through how the scoring works really quickly. Firstly, we count up the city wall. So that's looking for a completed area of city wall. So orange has this, or from here through to here. So that's probably his longest one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So 6 points for orange. Blue has this one, has from here through to here. That's probably his longest one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also 6 for blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And purple has from here through to here. That's probably his longest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for purple. We then go to the cathedral and add up the points from there. So starting with orange, he has 2 houses at the cathedral, but he only has 1 complete set of all 3 things. That set is worth 6 points, so it's 2, 2, and 2, so he gets 6 points. Blue doesn't have any sets, even though he has 2 things at the cathedral. If those 2 were there, he would get the points, but no points for blue. And purple has 1 house at the cathedral and 1 full set of points, so 6. And then we look at these. So orange gets 1 point for every wall section that is next to either a house or a tower of his. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points. Because this has a maximum of 12, he only gets 12 points rather than the 13. Then he gets 2 points for each of these, so it's 4 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we come down to blue. 2 points for each of them. He doesn't have any of them. 2 points for each different card. So he only has 1, so it's 2 points for blue. 3 points for each stone. So he's creating 4, which gives him the full 12 points. It's 58. And 4 points for each of these. He's got 2 of them, which is another 8 points. And then finally, we come down to purple. Purple gets 2 points per tower he has. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that's the full 12 points for him. 2 points for every olive that he shows. He's showing 6, so that's another 12 points. And 2 points for every grape. He's only got 5 of them, so it's 10 more points. And that, my friends, is enough for him to win the game. Just to point out something that happened while we were skipping forward. Blue managed to get a fair distance forward from everyone else simply because he had a whole bunch of fish and a whole bunch of houses around the fish, which really did push him forward. So I'll leave it there. If you have any comments or suggestions, please comment below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplayed, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.